Hello, everyone. What is the optimal size for political systems? This is a topic that has been debated since Plato and Aristotle all the way through Hume and Hobbes and into the modern world. There are democratic arguments for both smaller and larger jurisdictions in the modern world. Smaller jurisdictions, it is argued, create opportunities for more participation by people, civic consensus on issues, responsiveness to the concerns of citizens. It spreads political power across the population, increases accountability of officials, allows more opportunity for people to relocate to a more advantageous situation than in a larger context. A larger size of jurisdiction has potentially more diversity in beliefs and values, more system capacity for services, perhaps more media coverage of local issues, greater organizational activity, different community groups, political parties, and so on. There are also economic arguments made both directions on scale. Smaller jurisdictions are better tailored for local needs, welfare needs. These things can be seen more clearly. Larger jurisdictions, though, have a broader economic base. They have more resources for services, can take advantage of economies of scale. Consolidation of services that had been done by other jurisdictions can result in less duplication and cost savings. How does that work out in practical terms? Blom, Hansen, Holberg, and Seretslu examined the effects of municipal consolidation in Denmark over the last 15 years and found that there is significant economic benefit. There was about a 10% per capita cost of government decrease with a larger scale. However, in the same study, they found that political efficacy and participation declined significantly, and there were differential welfare effects between the communities, and so there was a mix of benefit and not benefit between smaller and larger jurisdictions. Closer to home, in 1970, faced with serious decline in the downtown area, Indianapolis, Indiana, a city then of about 540,000 people, adopted Unigov, which consolidated the city government with the county government, incorporating suburban communities into the city. The city therefore added 250,000 mostly white middle-class residents and became the 12th largest city in America. Many of the governmental structures were consolidated, though some were left intact. For example, school districts, fire and police organizations, even the township governments where welfare distribution takes place. The resulting economic development from Unigov revitalized the decaying city. There was all kinds of new development, a new convention center, new universities downtown, the Hoosier Dome where the Indianapolis Colts play. IU Medical School was built, a new zoo, new state government buildings, a new basketball stadium, new business and development. The NCAA built their headquarters there. By 2011, there had been more than $3 billion of investment in the revitalized downtown, of which only about $550 million came from the city, but that was from the increased broadened tax base. Jobs in the city increased by about 43% from 1970 to 1989. By 2011, it had averaged about 1.2 to 1.3% job growth per year. Those jobs were primarily in the lower paying service sectors in the center city. Politically, a little different story though. Interestingly, voter turnout declined significantly over the decades after Unigov. Political power shifted from the old city to the suburban communities. And also there was a significant issue involving race. With consolidation, the African American population of the city went from 27% in the old city to 17% in the new city. This reduced African American political influence and also meant that the neighborhoods were not as well cared for in the African American community. Renewal building projects disrupted the existing neighborhoods. And in fact, the school districts were not consolidated, as I mentioned earlier, and they were generally racially segregated, at least until court-ordered busing began in 1981. By the 2000s, however, the African American population began to spread more broadly through the city and reached its pre-consolidation proportion in 2010. The economic benefit, though, seems to have also been present for the African American community, in spite of the fact that the political influence has declined. So it appears that larger scale and local government, at least in this case, may have significant economic benefits, but it also may have significant detrimental effects on political participation and on equity, especially for minority communities. Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed the semester and hope everything is terrific for you.